So this is kind of different from most of the videos posted on this channel, but I thought it would be an interesting video idea if I cataloged how I made my animations. May I add that the way that I work could be completely out of order, but I still follow all these guidelines for most of my animations, even if the steps listed in this video are completely out of order most of the time. But when it comes to this animation in particular, these are the steps that I went through. Before we start, I typically animate on 2s with sometimes an in-between of 1s, but there are some animations where there are in-between frames of 3s. In simple terms, I animate mostly to 24 to 30 frames per second with a few in-betweens to make transitions quicker. I set all of my animations at a resolution of 1920 by 1080 with my shorts being the same but opposite. So instead of 16 by 9 widescreen, it'll be 9 by 16, which is the aspect ratio of phones. I only started doing shorts recently, so vertical based resolutions are still new to me. How I come up with these ideas is that I simply just scroll YouTube or YouTube Shorts and look at the audio snippets that I can picture in my head if I could do something with it. There are some times where I do pick audio based off of how popular it is, but I also only do popular audio bits if I enjoy it first rather than if it will do well view-wise, because if the audio isn't working well like you envisioned it, then there's no point to work on it if you're not enjoying the process. I'm not implying that I'm a saint because, ooh, I'm not doing it for the views. Now, I do some animations based off of how popular the audio is, but I also do it knowing that I do like the audio bit that is popular. So it's sort of like a 2-in-1 deal. The software that I use is a mixture of Photoshop, Adobe Animate, and Audacity. And how I extract audio is from a 4K video downloader. That out of the way, let's head to the animation process. First off, a lot of my animations are based off of the movement of the head. This is as crude as my animations can get when it comes to getting the fundamentals down of how I want the scene to be. I also made an extended background so that the background can properly scroll so that it's not static, and I wanted to add it because I thought that it complemented the movement of the head. Typically I add different layers to things that are in the background if characters are interacting with it, but I kept this animation relatively simple with the background since most of the attention is on the characters. The second process is me adding the bodies and hands, which are separate layers from one another. I like to add some sway to the body so that it complements the head. Also provide some slickness to the movement. I want every part of the body to sort of sway of where the head is heading. I guess I like it when the animation looks kind of snake-like, if that makes sense, when the movement is controlled by the head. The third process of the animation is adding facial animations. This is the most time-consuming, but it's also my favorite part to do, because I think a lot of animation is facial-based, and if you don't do a lot with making the face expressive or lively or more animated, then it just feels like a bit of its soul is missing. Smears in animation are extremely helpful for trying to get the movement that you want. Even though everything is in separate parts, it's also important to me that the face does not feel disconnected from the body. I just prioritize the face because it's what you're going to be looking at. My animations are centered around expression, so that's what I want to focus most on. The fourth and final process to this animation is the hair and background characters. The hair I like to do separately because that means that I have to redraw the head shape every time I want to draw a new frame for the hair, so a workaround to this is just adding the hair as a separate layer. It's both time effective for me, and to me at least it's barely noticeable in the animation that they are two separate layers. In this animation I was more focused on getting the actions down than focusing on the people in the background, so the animation in the background is more limited looking because the focus is on the foreground, not the background. After I am done with these steps, I typically do some cleanup on the frames and I make a thumbnail to post to YouTube. I have a little bit of an interesting background to this animation. I had to do it twice because I accidentally permanently deleted my art folder that had 6 years of animations and drawings in it, which included the original version of this animation. So the final product is just a redo of the original animation. And that is more or less how I make my animations. For others, it may look very messy and out of order, which I do not do things in an organized manner. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not good at sticking with a strict set of rules, but this is the general process of how I make my animations. I have ADHD brain, it just makes sense to me. Hope you guys like seeing the process, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Psst, hey, I think that you should play Chicken Little Ace in Action on the PlayStation 2. Pretty cool licensed game. I mean, like, the movie sucks, but like, the game is cool. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't know, like propaganda or something. Fuck off.